Hum the cracker. What I'm hearing is that you're doing some weight training, you're doing some certain splits, and that's boosted your morale. And right now you're wondering how do you start to maybe add a few things that can start to help with your athleticism on the field. So how do we do stuff off the field that you can see that's really going to help your speed? And you mentioned some agility ladders, right? So here's a few things that you can do, even on your days that you're doing the weight training. These are some things that you could do as independent workouts, or you could do them as warm-ups, right? So they're pretty versatile. The first thing that comes to mind that's really going to help you transfer that strength that you're creating in the gym, this thing's going to help you transfer that strength and make it so that you can use it on the field. This is an RMT rope. Right? It's just a length of rope as long as you are tall. You could search how to make an RMT rope, but the reason why it's so powerful is because it's going to do exactly what I just said, which is transfer that strength that you're creating, right? Because there's a lot of players who can squat, they squat a lot of weight, they deadlift a lot of weight, but when it comes to games, they can't, it's hard for them to stop on a dime. They can't change direction efficiently. They just seem a little bit stiff. So this is something that really just helps you start to rotate your spine, right? Bend and twist your spine, rotate your core. This is going to help you improve your core strength, right? Because you could start to go behind your back. You could get into one-legged balance, right? This is going to improve balance, coordination, timing, right? Just being able to swing this in a circle, it's going to improve your timing. This helps improve your running mechanics. Right, this forces you to whip your arms down and then start to pop your knees up, which is gonna, just improve that springiness from your foot. Right, it's really gonna start to make you more explosive, because the more you understand where your body is in time and space, then you can control it better. If you can control it better, that means you could become, right, that means you could jump up higher, because you're gonna be able to control your arms to explode up. It's gonna make your reaction time very fast, because it's training the way you're playing in a very low impact way, right? You don't even need to take a single step, and yet you're getting into all these different ranges of motion that can really just transfer to success on the field. So this is something, if you could only take away one thing from this video, this would be it. So if you want to learn more, search David Weck, RMT rope. This is it started improving my juggling, which improved my passing, my shooting. This has just completely changed my life. And then you could start to use, as you start to improve your ability to swing the rope, then you could start to, make other ropes, and just, I've made them for every single member of my family. I made them for the whole college team that I coached. So this is something that it's effortless strength through motion. And I brought this to, I'm in Italy right now. I brought this to Germany. I brought this to Paris. I brought this to Amsterdam. It's a tool that, it's less than $10, and it's lightweight, portable, cheap. It's like having a soccer gym that you can bring everywhere in the world for less than $10, right? For a lifetime. So I think it's a game changer. Okay, so then you said you want to improve maybe get more explosive and some jumps. Okay, so this guy, if you search Cador Ziani, 7 Postures, it's a book, but you don't need to buy the book in the beginning, right? This guy, he's 5'10" or 5'9". He could dunk on a 10-foot hoop, barefoot, at 49 years old. Right? And he shows you these simple stretches. And, I thought I was an athletic player before I started doing some of these stretches or his postures. But after you start doing them, you just start to get a better understanding of your toes and your feet. You just start to feel so strong in your feet and in your toes especially, right? Because he shows you how to get up into this position. So you're kind of putting all your weight up in the front toes, and then you're kind of rolling out. I don't know if you can see this back foot here. You're rolling this out, and then now I'm starting to feel this tremendous stretch in the hip flexor. I'm feeling a nice stretch in the Achilles, and then getting up, strengthening to develop flexibility, stability, mobility in the toes. And you'll just notice how you can start to get up higher. You're going to feel some nice decompression in the spine and even the neck from getting in these positions. This is called the cat, but right there, and there's also, they're passive and they're active. You can use them, right? I'll do them when I'm sitting in the car, right? And let's say I'm driving an automatic transmission car. The way he shows you how to sit, it just, when you get up from these postures, you don't feel like you've been it's a more intuitive way to sit, because you're starting to feel that even when you're sitting, you're kind of stretching out. Look, you can see how this quad and that knee is kind of more engaged. I don't know if you can see that, right? You can see how this quad and the knee is more engaged, as opposed to just, kind of sitting in this, this not ideal seated position. So I spend, once you learn the postures, it'll completely change your life. It's like I do this every single day, and it's helped me, just the range of motion you get in the knees, in the ankles, and the toes. It'll just not only help you become more explosive, but prevent injuries, and I just can't recommend it enough. So search 7 postures, Kador Zayani. Okay, now let's talk about ladder, right? You want to talk about ladders and agility. So, well, that RMT rope will help with agility, but let me show you something else that's really gonna help take your training to the next level. So I learned this from a guy. His name is Robert Nagel. Robert Nagel, out of Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. And what he would do is he would have us use agility ladders. Can you see that? So he would have us use an agility ladder, but he would use a metronome. He would use a metronome. A metronome is a tool that musicians use. And he would have us match our movement to the sound of the metronome. Right, so he's got a couple different counts, and I'm gonna send the follow-up video because there's one that I made specifically to show people how to use this with the metronome, but I'm just gonna give you a quick demo. So the metronome he uses is a DM8 LT metronome, right? Can you see that? DM8 LT metronome, and this one's special. You could get some of the different beat patterns on other metronomes, but this one has one beat pattern in particular that is important for athletes. But let me just show you a fun one, right? So I put it to this 3-count setting. 3-count setting. You hear that three beat? Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. And then so what he would do is while we're going through the agility ladder, he'd start to turn up the dial, make it go faster and faster. Pop, 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 pop. Right, so that's a fun workout, and if you put it on a speaker, you could train, whole teams at a time. You could train, a large group of people if you got a loudspeaker. I'm talking, a football field filled with kids and players. So this is, it's not cheap. I want to say it's between $40, maybe $42. You get it online. You just search in DM8 LT Intelli metronome, and you could find one of these no problem. So with 2 RMT ropes, I've made a makeshift ladder, and I like it better because instead of carrying an unwieldy ladder around, you've got the benefits of having
2 different weights of 2 RMT ropes, which means they relate to your body in a different way. And then you could do all these different agility ladder or agility exercises that'll make you, quick as lightning. So, and I'll send you the follow-up video about the other patterns that I can use with these. But, this is stuff that I do every single day, right? Every single day I do this stuff, and it's easy for me to say the benefits, but if you just start to, test the cheapest thing that I just suggested, right? So search, either make an RMT rope with 2 shoelaces tied together and just see how you feel when you're getting into a one-legged stance, right? That's a cheap way you could test this out and test out some of these ideas, or check out Ziani, Z-I-A-N-I, 7 postures, right? Like, you don't want to trust exactly what I'm saying. You got to test it, see what works for you. Maybe the Ziani thing works good, but maybe the RMT ropes don't. Like, see if this is legit stuff, and then decide for yourself. And then if I hit it, if I'm 2 for 2 on the RMT ropes and the Cador Ziani, then maybe invest in one of these metronomes, and then see how that treats you. So hopefully this helps. Reach out for any questions. All right, thank you.